Well, hello there, everybody. 'Tis I, Photo Dave, and I thought for today's video, we'd go over a few things that I acquired this past week. And the first things we're going to go over are a few things I acquired from Gridiron Studios. Oh, yeah! So, without further ado, let's get cracking. Alright, up first we have this bad boy here. M4 with suppressor / silencer. You know, the good stuff. Normally I buy these things with a purpose in mind. I really didn't here, but I think the person this is going to go to is Lady J. It always bugged me that she had javelins and things like that for weapons. I always liked my Joes to be a little more realistic and my Cobras to be a little more sci-fi. So Lady J will end up with this bad boy. It also comes with, let's see here, two of these guys, two clips. Oh man, the focus hates me today. Of course, it doesn't help that I'm not holding it still very well. Anywho, I think I'd kind of learn how to do this by now. But alas, nay. Let's try this. Alright, I'll use a white paper trick or something in the future here. But it's just added one of these bad boys here. Let's see if I can make my finger work. Oh yeah, one of those. So yeah, this thing's pretty sweet. I like Gridiron Studios. They make really top-of-the-line stuff, but I will say I had to replace a set over Thanksgiving because I had family here over Thanksgiving, and something was broken. Because, you know, this isn't pliable plastic that you get with normal Hasbro stuff. This is pretty tough stuff. This is pretty brittle stuff, so you don't want anybody getting too crazy with it, lest it just breaks. So this is more collector's grade and less kids grade. But yeah, they're pretty sweet anyway. So let's get this bad boy in Lady J's hands and see what we think. And there she is, Lady J all posed up with her brand new gun. I figure when you're somebody that's into a little more of the covert operations side of things, and even if you can blend in with your surroundings and different cultures around the area, I figure it's always good to have a weapon just in case somebody finds you out. And so with a little bit of the silencer there, it's good for her to try and maintain cover if, say, maybe it's just one dude that finds her. Normally, I guess you'd probably think of a pistol or something, but I also really like it when my figures are out and ready to throw down on the real field battlefield. So yeah, I'm really excited about this one. I think it looks great. Yeah, Lady J's gonna look pretty darn awesome on their shelf, or on my shelf. Minus, of course, the spear. Might get rid of that off her backpack. Who knows? Anywho, on to the next set. Now here's one that I've had for quite a while. This is a shotgun for everybody's favorite warrant officer, which is Flint, of course. It's another one of those guns that is just absolutely perfect. A lot of figures, a lot of Joes, I feel like, need to come with their signature weapons. Now, we all have our favorites and all that, and sometimes, you know, somebody might think Duke needs to always have his original gun, and I'm not that way with Duke. He can have whatever, as long as it looks cool. But with Flint, the man always needs his shotgun. So this is a little extra stuff that they did over at Gridiron Studios. You've got your painted up shotgun shells on the side. And pump action. I mean, this thing's beautiful. It's green, just like his original one from his 85 appearance. But yeah, I'm really fired up about this. This might be my favorite one just because Flint's one of my favorite characters. And he is my favorite G.I. Joe figure. And, you know, G.I. Joe character. So I'm really excited about this. Years ago, I did a series of photos on joedios.com, and I called it Shotgun Lucy. And I think I'm just going to continue to call it Shotgun Lucy now that I have an awesome one. So let's see, an awesome one for 6-inch. I had a pretty sweet one that was given to me by one of the members of that Joe Dios community for my 3 3/4 inch way back when. But without rambling anymore, let's put this in Flint's hands and see how it looks. And there's Flint with Lucy. Man, I love this thing. I don't really know how much I could say or how much I even should say. Just to say that basically, man oh man, I really dig the work that Gridiron Studios does for these things. Look at that. Woo. And of course, Flint's just sitting here posing up a storm because we all know the man might be a little bit cocky. This isn't why he's a favorite of mine. Okay, maybe it's slightly why he's a favorite of mine. But yeah, he's just cool. He's just cool. And that shotgun even adds a little more cool to it. I don't hate the shotgun that came with the figure, but it's just not very... It's a little too sci-fi. And I've read that it's just not possible and all that. I need to do a little more research when it comes to that for it to open up the way that it does. And it feels like if I'm not careful, I might just break it, so I'm not going to open it. But yeah, just I don't like the look of this bad boy as much as I do the look of the one that Gridiron Studios made. I mean, look at that bad boy. It's beautiful. And now, on to the next set. Next up, we have an SMG Commando style. So anybody that knows much about G.I. Joe probably knows where this bad boy is going. It comes with an extra magazine, extra little clip, this bad boy here. So you can load it up, you break that, you lose it, you're good to go. Look at the detail on that bad boy. That is an absolutely beautiful gun. And once I saw it on there, I decided I kind of needed it. Not only that, but the set that I had to replace over Thanksgiving, when I went on to do so, I just looked at a lot of these too and thought, man oh man, I'm going to need more guns because the Joes can always use more guns, right? I mean, they are people that use guns. I don't know where I'm going with that. But anywho, this bad boy, you know, is going with that bad boy that's on the far left there. So, let's set him up and see how it looks. And there you go. The old SMG and everybody's favorite Commando's hands, Snake Eyes. Now, I talked a little bit about how some figures just need, or some characters just need to come with their signature weapon. And Snake Eyes is no different. Snake Eyes, as we all know, needs his Uzi. But this gun is absolutely beautiful. And I can see several other characters being able to use it. You might be able to prop it onto Beachhead, maybe give it to Duke, just all kinds. I mean, this bad boy, remember, G.I. Joe is supposed to be the elite of the elite. Most anybody should be able to use this thing and get some pretty decent results, I would say, if, I weren't just babbling at this point. So yeah, another great weapon by Gridiron Studios. Really happy with it. But now, it's time for the Coup de Gracie. Yep, we have the entire Roadblock set. So, let's check it out. Woo! Okay, we got this bad boy here. That's his backpack. That's the belt, the little ammo, the bullets that fire off. And this bad boy looks to be, I don't know what the technical term is, a couple drums that you attach to a machine gun that he actually came with instead of, he came with his signature Mondoose as well, but he also came with an additional gun. So let's check these. You see what they are. Backpack, ammo belt, couple drums. And let's see, let's wait for that. This is the tripod, and this is the piece that was busted when the fam was over here for Thanksgiving. I can't remember which side, but one of these legs snapped clean off. So that's why I say be careful. These aren't really kids' toys. These are much more for all of us nutty collectors out there. Let's see if I can get this to show up, maybe down here. There we go. So yeah, heads up, look out for these. Don't let them snap. Don't let the kids get too crazy with it. That would be bad as losing the list. Okay, let's see. What else do we have? This bad boy here, this is the machine gun they provided. Look at that bad boy. It's beautiful. It's lovely. And everything keeps trying to focus on the figure, so let's keep it down here, it looks like. Yeah. No additional paint on this thing, but it's one of those accessories that it's okay, because it didn't even come with the original roadblock or anything. It's kind of an added gun for this set. And let's be real, not every gun has all kinds of paint all over it, because you want to kind of do the whole camouflage thing. So it's looking real good. I'm a big fan. And of course, the last part of this thing is the old mod deuce. Look at that. This, when I talk about Joes that need their signature weapons, maybe, even more than Flint needs a shotgun, and Snake Eyes needs his Uzi, Roadblock needs his mod deuce. Like I said before, a lot of figures, holy crap, let me shake. A lot of figures, they don't necessarily need the weapons that came with them in the 80s. I'm not that guy. I'm not that big a stickler for it. But some characters, they're almost defined by it. Like if you don't give Roadblock a mod deuce, then you shouldn't give Lowlight a sniper rifle. Or you shouldn't give Cobra Commander a hairdryer. I'm just saying. These are big-time weapons that come with big-time characters. Anywho, let's pop all this on Roadblock so I can stop shaking, and let's see how it looks. Now, before we get to the main event that I'm sure everybody wants to take a closer look at, let's check this bad boy out. This is the gun that they included with the Roadblock kit, complete with the drum. Very, very cool stuff. And you could just give this gun to somebody else. I know they show pictures of it on their website where, look at that bad boy, where it's attached to Roadblock's backpack, but it doesn't need to be. I think Roadblock's got everything he needs. And now, without further ado, let's check out that bad boy. Well, here we go. Look at that. That looks like our old school Roadblock. And again, I want to reiterate, I'm not in this to make everything totally exactly like they were in the 80s versions. I'm not that guy. We've had plenty of that. We don't need it anymore as far as I'm concerned. I know your mileage may vary. But still, I just think with what Hasbro offered with this guy, I think this set just looks so much better. And the mod deuce is still, I mean, they're trying to get rid of it, but this bad boy is still a gun that's used. And it's used still today. It's over 100 years old as far as the technology, and it's still highly effective. So it's not like Hasbro would have been too far out of left field to include it with them anyway. But yeah, this bad boy just looks so good. Look at that. Oh, I'm just super fired up. And like I said, keep this stuff out of the reach of the kids, maybe even out of the reach of the grandparents and the family, just because you don't want things to actually get snapped. If you've got any of the kids or anybody else messing with your stuff, just hide your Gridiron Studios weapons and put the regular Hasbro weapons with your figures. And then if they pull them down, they're G.I. Joes, they're not too fragile, they'll be okay. But definitely hide these Studios props. These things are sweet, and I can't recommend Gridiron Studios enough. I'm really fired up and really excited about them. So check them out. I'll put a link in the description, and I'll make sure that at some point while I'm talking about them in this video, you see a link to the website on the video as well. And now, on to the other stuff I was able to swing this past week. Alright, now one thing that makes me really happy when it comes to taking pictures is throwing a lot of props in the backgrounds and in the foregrounds, wherever they need to be, to make the pictures look a little more convincing, so it's not just a figure standing there. I really dig that, and so I made a whole lot of purchases in the past couple weeks that just happened to show up this week, which was pretty awesome. I knew that I had a certain Mafex figure showing up this week that you'll see later on in the video, so I had to order accordingly. We have here a rusty purple barrel, which if that hasn't given away who exactly it was that I ordered yet, you gotta maybe, I don't know, read more comics or watch more movies or understand things about pop culture a bit more. But yeah, I'm really fired up about this. I think this thing's really cool. It's perfect, and it goes really well with the character, which, okay, it's the Joker, folks. If you don't know it's the Joker, it's the Joker. This bad boy just goes wonderfully with him, even better than I could have imagined, because again, I ordered this before I even saw the Joker, and we all know that lighting when it comes to product photos, and even the professional stuff, isn't always perfectly accurate. So one other thing that I'll be doing is, as I'm showing this stuff off, I will make sure to put links to where I got them below, maybe just the name of the person on eBay. I believe these were all eBay purchases. So I'll put links to their accounts or just their username or something so you'll know who it is that I got them from. And then this bad boy here, this is actually a really sturdy chair, which surprises me. I didn't think it was going to be that, I don't know, I didn't think it was going to be that sturdy for whatever reason, but it's all metal. I mean, it feels kind of cool to the touch, so maybe it's not metal, but it's really solid, it's sturdy, it holds up. I've already taken a picture with the Joker sitting in it, which is just fine. I mean, it holds up really well. It scales beautifully with them. Everything I got, I found by doing a 1/12 scale search on eBay. So I'm really excited about this. That dark green color matches really well too. So just excited to get that bad boy in my hands. And then we got in a single pack, let's see if we can even show this well. We got a couple revolvers here, which, while cool, aren't why I bought this pack. So just get out of here. I bought this pack because who's the Joker? What's the Joker without a Tommy gun? And who am I without being able to focus on said Tommy gun? Come on now. There we go. Look at that bad boy. Really pretty sturdy plastic. I would say it's the same thing as the Gridiron prop stuff. Don't let the kids play with this. Of course, you probably don't want to let the kids play with your Joker either. But yeah, I figured the Joker needed a Tommy gun because with Warner Brothers' rule about guns, Mafex had solicited him with a revolver with a little bang flag that comes out of it, but he didn't come with it because, again, Warner Brothers' weird ban on guns. So I needed to get a gun for Joker, and I thought, Tommy gun probably works. The old Thompson submachine gun, a classic. So I was really excited to get a hold of this. And next, and probably the thing that I'm most excited about, weirdly enough, this is a sheet of playing cards. Now, the thing I ordered came with 4 sheets of these, and it even came with little kind of foldable playing card deck, like the boxes that the cards come in. And that's just really cool. I took the picture I took. You can see some of these are punched out, and that's what it is. It's kind of a, I mean, it's flexible, but when you punch the cards out, it doesn't really, it's not really all that, like the cards themselves. Here, let's punch one out here. They're all just perforated. So, boom. You just pull them out. They're pretty strong. They're pretty tiny. I can't focus on them because of such things. Let's see here. And if I still can't focus on it, all right, let's just bring the sheet back. Anywho, you saw how easy it was to pull that card out, just perforated. There's all kinds. I mean, it was great. It was great. They came with Joker cards too. You can see a little Joker card down here. So I had Joker holding one of those. It's just a really cool idea. And they're not just flimsy paper. They're really good quality cards. Just excited about them. I was able to just totally decorate the floor of the picture with these cards. So I thought they looked really cool. Really fired up about these. And they're going to do great for the toy photography because, again, it just adds stuff to make it look a little more convincing. So, all right, we're done with the Joker accessories, so why not get to Mr. J himself? And there he is, good old Mr. J himself. I'm really geeked about this guy. He's kind of spindly, a little wiry, but for photos, the finish is absolutely perfect. He has all the articulation you need. The one spot, I guess, I shouldn't say that. The one spot where it's a little funky is actually at his elbows. They only go about that far, and for some lines that's pretty good, but for Mafex I feel like it should go a little further. But it's pretty sweet. I mean, other than that, he's got really good articulation. His head, if you've ever watched Robo on the Fwoosh, which by the way, this is not a classic review channel. If you want reviews, you want to check out guys like The Amazing, you want to check out the Fwoosh, you want to check out Shartimus Prime, Jay Hernandez when he puts stuff up. I mean, those guys know how to review stuff. I'm just here telling you about them in the context of photography. But look at that face. Whew. I mean, that is a creepy, creepy clown. You do not want to mess with that thing. But therein lies my one problem with this bad boy. I've been able to mostly avoid QC issues when it comes to Mafex, and I know a lot of people talk about having them. But with Joker, I did end up with a little bit of one, and I'll show you right now. Let's see, maybe it won't do it. That'd make me happy. Oh, it didn't do it. Look at that. So the QC issue that I've had was this ball peg here is actually supposed to stay in the neck, but it hasn't been staying in the neck. It's been popping off with the head. Like it just comes off and goes right in there. And that's not very helpful because it makes switching out the head a little trickier. So that's been a problem. But I used a lot of shock oil to try and loosen it all up, and I was able to pop it out of that head and replace it with the other head. Which, give me just a minute. Let me grab that other head. Like I said, again, this is not a classic review channel, but this Joker's too cool. Yeah, also, Ziploc baggies. Absolutely phenomenal tools for all your extra stuff. But here's the other head that Joker comes with. Look at just how insane he looks. Like, this is a crazy, crazy dude. This is probably, like in pictures, I have to say the product photos for this guy don't do him justice. Like, I can truly, truly say that. He is one creepy dude. This probably has the most character of any figure that I've picked up this year. And I've picked up a few figures. But yeah, this thing is just nuts. I can see me having fun just taking photos of him just on his own for a long time to come. I've collected a lot of stuff over the years, but I've never had a Joker that was both this cool and this creepy. That doesn't mean that, I haven't gotten a lot of Jokers over the years, so that doesn't mean he's the best, but he's definitely my favorite. And unless you're really trying to articulate this stuff for toy photography, I wouldn't really take my word for any of it. So this is just my opinion and what I think of this guy. I'm really excited about him. Oh, what's that you say? Let's see the creepy head on his body. The creepy head is actually the one that was keeping that peg inside it, so we'll see. That's something else. So if you do watch the Fwoosh and you hear Robo constantly talking about tilt, and I do watch the Fwoosh, I think anybody should. It's a fun channel. Dude's insanely positive, and that always is something I think most of us could use a little more of. But he'll talk about, how about I just touched his head to try and focus? All right, let's try that. But he'll talk about how much tilt these things have for attitude. Look at all the attitude Mr. J can get. Dude is absolutely just insane. I love this figure. I absolutely love this figure. Like I say, Not really a big time review or anything like that, but he is wonderful for photos. I've already taken 2 with him, and I'm just super excited about having this thing. Especially since the Hush line right now is my current favorite subline of any kind of figure out there. Anyway, I have talked far too long about Mr. J, so let's get on to the very last thing, and probably the most surprising thing that I've gotten this year. In a good way, of course. Here we go. And here he is, ladies and gentlemen. This here is Gunslinger Spawn. Now, most of the time, I like to keep my collection in the 1/12 scale. That just works for me. Everything can match up. But this thing, while being, I think he's around 8 inches tall. I'm not sure. I should probably measure it or watch more reviews, but he's taller than what should work for 1/12 scale, but just a little bit, because Spawn is almost 7 feet tall anyway. But this is, of course, Gunslinger Spawn, totally different character. I'm totally talking out of my depth, out of my element, all that good stuff. But this is just a really, really cool figure. McFarlane absolutely knocks it out of the park when it comes to his own creation. Look at this thing. Look at all the detail here. And not only that, one of the things that I really like when it comes to figures is articulation, because it just makes for more interesting photos to me. And this bad boy, he's got it. He's got all kinds of articulation, which really surprised me, because I got one of McFarlane's DC Multiverse figures a while back, and it didn't feel like it had all that much. But I'm also, just me being me, I kind of like Westerns. Like, Unforgiven is one of my favorite movies of all time. And Spawn here, with his revolvers, with his rifle, it just reminds me of just what a Western would be if it were really, really creepy. But yeah, it's a great figure. The articulation is really good. And I don't know if you're watching this and you don't know much about the history of what McFarlane has done with his figures, he really prefers sculpt over articulation. So I was surprised to see the articulation of this thing being this good. But I'm really, really happy with this. This is the most surprising figure I've gotten this year. And that dude even squeaked into my top 10. And that's pretty amazing, which I will do a top 10 video at the end of the year. Just saying, I'm just surprised by how much I really like this thing. I just thought, Todd does Spawn, Todd makes Spawn. Todd invented Spawn. I'm gonna pick one up and just see how it goes. And yes, I did support the Kickstarter. I have a classic Spawn, but that thing needs a cape. I need to make adjustments on that. But I still thought, let's get a Spawn from the regular line and see what I think. And this thing just has me looking at more Spawn. So that's kind of the sign of a good figure. So that's all I got to say about him. And that's a wrap on this past week's haul. Believe me, my weeks don't usually go like this. This has been a crazy week. But man, I love everything that I was able to pick up. And I have to tell you, when I really dig everything I pick up, it leads to better photos, which is why I get this stuff. I want to make the best, absolutely perfect, for me, photos that I can absolutely, possibly come up with. Words are hard. So that's it. Everything I get, remember, it's all in the service of taking great toy photos. So hopefully you dug this video. If not, hey, let me know. If you did, let me know. Don't forget, like, comment, subscribe, all that crazy stuff. And until next time, remember to have fun and happy snapping. See ya.